As a country, when we discuss whether or not the rich are, in fact, paying their fair share, I believe that we currently begin the argument with a logical fallacy about the role of the federal government in the lives of the American people. You see, when innovators, entrepreneurs, small business owners, and corporate CEOs work their butts off, take immense personal financial risks, and put it all on the line to achieve the American dream and then wildly succeed in doing so, individually, they have already paid their fair share into the economy and have greatly contributed to the economic success and well-being of American society, without giving a single dime to the federal government. In fact, it is not a wealthy federal government, but a healthy and wealthy free market economy of thriving businesses and wealthy business owners that America needs and depends on to provide the goods and services and employment opportunities needed by the American people for prosperous living, not a wealthy economic leech we refer to as the federal government. Yes, I am pro-government, and when it comes to things like national defense and the protection of the individual constitutional God-granted rights of the American people and so on, the federal government definitely has its place. It's important, but its place is definitely not to unjustly tax successful Americans and then freely promise less successful Americans the economic comforts and necessities of life. For able-bodied Americans, the attainment of the comforts and necessities of life is best achieved when left to the glories of capitalism, the free markets, and the goods and services producing businesses that actually provide them. The federal government is not a producer of goods and services. It really only has to give us what it has already taken from us. And the less we allow the federal government to burden American businesses with taxes, the healthier our businesses and economy will be, and the more comfortable our individual lives will be. You see, the taxes imposed by the federal government should be viewed by Americans as nothing more than the burden they are. Necessary, yes, for our national defense and the protection of individual rights, but not as the relied upon source of any kind of individual economic benefits. And the question of, are the rich paying their fair share, should be completely transposed by the American people away from a measurement of the contributions made to the government in form of taxes towards a monetary assessment of the contributions, investments, and or money spent by the rich in the free markets. Which monies being put back into the free markets are in fact being exchanged for goods and services produced by middle class and working class Americans. Believe it or not, the absolute worst thing that we could possibly do as an American society, besides allow the government to institute socialism and effectively steal the wealth of the wealthy, is to make wealthy Americans feel guilty about being wealthy by demonizing them for spending their money in the free markets. Because when it gets down to it, behind every dollar spent in the free markets is an American working to earn that dollar. And whether it be a $350,000 top-of-the-line Pavati wake boat or a $12 million, 20,000 square foot custom home, behind every dollar spent in the free markets, like I said, is a hard-working middle-class American, most likely earning a middle-class wage, who is willing to work hard to create and to sell the products and services that they are inherently passionate about. So the next time you see a wealthy American buy a boat, a nice car, a big house, an expensive vacation, a diamond ring, and or anything else that can be purchased with money here in America, don't vilify them with your jealous eyes, but affectionately praise them for their financial successes and express your humble gratitude towards them for their contributions and support of the middle class and the working class. Wonderful American people behind the businesses they are supporting with their purchases. The fact of the matter is that wealthy Americans are the economic engines that keep the middle-class American economy alive. And the more ultra-wealthy people we have in America, the more we culturally encourage them to spend and invest their wealth and money into the businesses and products made by the American people, the better all of our lives will be. Because it is definitely not those of us living paycheck to paycheck that keep small businesses alive. It is the wealthy. It is the blessed Americans who are comfortably wealthy enough to spend their money on the luxuries that we middle-class Americans work to provide that truly support the working-class Americans behind the American businesses that make America such a great place to live. And if we allow our government to take the wealth of our nation's wealthy, it will damage all of us working-class Americans just as much, if not more, than the wealthy themselves. We, as working-class Americans, must protect the wealth of America from the greed of Washington and the tears of socialism. And if you agree with me, please share this video, download Pursuit of Happiness from App Store or Google Play, and make the pledge to be American today. Thank you.